Western State Bank proudly supports Scott Community High School students and athletes as they prepare for another great year of achievements. Just as our students prepare for another successful year, we encourage you to be prepared for whatever life may bring you. Stop in and talk with the knowledgeable staff at Western State Bank, whether it be a new home loan, financing for your business, or any one of our checking and savings account options. We're here to help you. Make sure to check out all of our internet banking options provided at WSBKS.com. Western State Bank, member FDIC. And as always, go Beavers!
High school officials are essential for the survival of school activities. Unfortunately, the number of high school officials is dwindling. Without these hardworking personnel, there would be no Friday night football games, no high-energy basketball games, as well as no games or meets for any other sport. Please help the survival of high school sports by becoming a Acacia official today. This is Ariana Coker from Shawnee Mission West High School with a message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Student Advisory Team.
At Axis Seed Red Barn, we're committed to dialing in the data for your farming success. Our corn hybrids offer exceptional drought tolerance and impressive ear flex, ensuring a profitable harvest. Proudly local, yet backed by a national brand, we deliver top-tier seeds with a personal touch. And as always, we're here to support our community, cheering on the Beavers. Axis Seed, where data meets dedication.
I'm driving, but someone texted me. I'll make it quick. Replying to this will only take a second. This can't wait.
According to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in a year, there are over 1.6 million car accidents involved with cell phones. Around 3,000 people die a year, not including the pedestrians and cyclists that are injured or killed in the accidents. Are you willing to leave your child without a fatherly or motherly figure? Don't text and drive.
For exceptional service in real estate, put Stephanie Shapland at Shapland Real Estate to work for you. Property homework is what we do best at Shapland Real Estate. We put forth every effort to get results that move you. Our expertise in buying and selling residential, commercial, and agriculture property is built on the tradition of trust and thoroughness that you deserve. Shapland Real Estate takes pride in our community and in cheering on our students in all that they do. Give Shapland Real Estate a call or visit our website today.
Deal today. Nextech Wireless, connecting Kansans.
Not even the weatherman knows for sure what tomorrow will bring. But if there's no rain in your future, a drought can and will happen. Although a long dry spell can ruin your crops, it shouldn't ruin your life. Make sure you secure your future with multi-peril crop insurance from QBE, NAU, and Western Kansas Insurance. You and your family deserve the QBE, NAU peace of mind. See Western Kansas Insurance Services at 310 Court Street in Sky City, Kansas today for more information. NAU Country Insurance Company and this business are equal opportunity providers.
And we welcome you back here to the Scott Community Event Center. We have a little technical issues getting our interview loaded up with Coach Justin Froh. We're going to get that ready here momentarily, so bear with us. Once again, kind of breaking down this sub-state real quickly here with Scott City and Norton. The winner of this game will take on Hoisington or Holcomb. That game being played at Holcomb also at 7 o'clock here this evening as well. So that'll be tipping off here momentarily. But and then you have, Southwestern Heights, also Lions on the other side. That's the 2:15 matchup. The 7-10 matchup as well. That has Beloit, I believe, in that one, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one. I think Larned as well in that 7-10 matchup. But we're trying to get this situated here, so just wanted to let you know here. We had that those technical issues. We're going to get that fixed here momentarily. We'll get you set up with our pregame interview in a little bit here with head coach for the Scott City Lady Beavers and Justin Froh. But Scott City comes in with a record here of 12-8. They average around, actually Beloit and Lakin, that was the one that I was talking about there. Scott City comes in with 49 points a game, Norton at around 35 points a contest. And the leading scorer for Scott City coming in here tonight is Avery Lewis at just under 10 points a game at 9.6. And for the Norton Lady Blue Jays, you're going to hear her name a lot tonight. Hallie Brooks, a 5'11 senior. She averages 12 points and a little over 6 rebounds per game. So Those are the top two scorers for tonight's ball game here for both the Norton and Scott City here. But we'll take another break, and we'll come back with that interview. We're going to get it hooked up here with Coach Justin Froh back in a moment here. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
Adding value to our community has been our priority since day one. That's why the Scott Co-op is here with 8 elevator locations, 2 service stations, 5 card trolls, bulk fuel and oil delivery, as well as a full-service agronomy department, including agronomy services, seed, chemical, fertilizer, and custom application. Visit us online at scottcoop.com or download our app for more information. Scott Co-op is a proud supporter of our local communities.
Scott City Eye Center has been a leading provider of optometry services and vision care products in the Scott City community since 1999. Our experienced eye doctors offer comprehensive vision examinations that our Scott City Optometry Office specializes in the diagnosis and treatment of a wide array of eye diseases, conditions, and problems. We use advanced diagnostic technology, and we are committed to improving the quality of life. Give yourself the gift of clear vision by scheduling an appointment with Dr. Joshua Gooden, OD, today.
As your local community foundation, we are dedicated to preserving local wealth so the communities in and around Scott County will forever remain an attractive place to live, work, and raise a family. We respond to the needs of our community through grant making, scholarships, and other special projects. Visit us online at scottcf.org.
To close out the regular season on senior night. Yeah, I thought that was our first full game we put together in a while. You know, I thought our basketball last week was pretty solid, and we played pretty well in all 3 games, but we just didn't put together a full game for that Colby game with that first quarter we had there, and then the Houghton game where we had a little bit of a letdown in the third and kind of into the fourth there. So it was nice to see us put together a full game with Cimarron there to close out the regular season and boost our confidence going into sub-state here. What was big about that game as well, I think you kind of surprised Cimarron a little bit with your 2-3 zone, and you've been running zone last few games and have been really good at it. Yeah, I think it just more comes down to we match up real well, and just with our height and stuff, our 2-3 zone is effective on being able to, you know, if they do get a shot outside, we do a pretty good job of cleaning up the boards and getting the rebound to end the possession there, and not allowing as many second chance points, and they're not getting as many looks at the basket in our zone as they have been against our man, just based on the fact that, you know, a lot of teams have a lot more action that they run in man sets, and they do a lot more cutting, and we kind of get behind and trail a little bit and kind of put ourselves out of position, and then we overhelp, and it leaves some people open, and we're allowing too many open shots. Not that I don't like our man, it's just, you know, kind of depending on the matchup wise as to what I thought was going to work a little bit better versus these teams, and it kind of paid off there, you know, even against Colby a little bit in the second half there. So definitely giving us some options moving forward, and it's nice to have that. But regardless, you know, we're going to have to be able to be disciplined with our game plan. We're going to have to execute, and nothing comes easy here in the sub-state, so we'll have to be able to make sure that we have everything cleaned up and we're ready to go. 20 games in, it feels like you guys have made a lot of strides this year. What do you think that the team really advanced their game throughout this year the best at? I think just honestly confidence in ourselves, really. We've thrown a lot at the girls this year, and a lot of different lineups, and you know, just a lot of new sets and a lot of changes just defensively and just in general from last season. But I think really what it comes down to is just the girls kind of being a little more confident in their game and being more aggressive and getting downhill and getting to the basket. And then we've done a better job, I thought, especially recently here in the last few games, of just cutting off of our girls driving and attacking and finding the open cutter, you know, whether that be coming down the lane or, you know, backdoor cuts or whatever it is. But just really playing the game of basketball and being confident in our game and just being able to play off each other has been a lot better, I thought, down the stretch here. Once again, it is Coach Justin Froh pregame here tonight as Scott City gets the Norton Lady Blue Jays, a team that's got 6 wins on the year, but this is a team that's had a lot of tradition in girls basketball, and a team that gave Colby a pretty good run at their home place in, I think, late January, early February. But what do you see with this Norton Lady Blue Jays squad coming into town tonight? You know, I think that they can pose a lot of trouble with their matchups just based off the size and kind of how their tallest girl is their main ball handler and kind of does it all for them. And, you know, she's kind of like a couple of girls that we've seen this year where she does a really good job of getting downhill and getting a lot of shots close to the basket, and we're going to have to be ready to be able to step in front, take charges, and make sure that we box out and don't allow her to get any second chance opportunities. And then from there, know that if we are going to help off to stop the drive, that we have to figure out where our shooters are, who we can help off of and who we cannot help off of, and then being able to control and limit the amount of times that they get to the free throw line and don't let their offense kind of flow through the free throw line and make them actually score over top of us and beat us on the offensive end. And then from there, just killing the possessions and finishing with good rebounds and boxing everyone out and then getting out and going and taking to them on the offensive side. I think that, sometimes they get a little lost in their defense, and we can take advantage of that, especially with our bigs down low and also just our cutting that we've been doing that like I was talking about. So really we just got to be able to put together another full game and do it on both sides of the floor to close this thing out. I think we'll be fine.
First upstate home game for Scott City since 2020 is at Scott City and Norton. Coach Justin Fro joins me here pregame. And Coach, thank you for the time as always, and good luck to you guys.
All right, thanks, Adam.
That was Scott City Lady Beaver coach Justin Fro. Your pregame interview is brought to you by Farmer Financial Services with Hugh and Berta Benz in Scott City and Leota. More to come in your pregame show. We'll have a breakdown of the matchup, also bring in starters, keys to the game, and the tip-off after this timeout. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
Thing in real estate is location, location, location. Well, location is critical to seed innovation as well. Every year, Pioneer conducts more than 17,000 on-farm trials to make sure the seed you plant has been proven to perform in your location. Pioneer, our name is our mission, and what's next happens here. Contact me.
I perform for our high school choir director, who taught me to breathe from the diaphragm and sing from the heart.
Speech, debate, theater, music. The performing arts teach valuable life lessons that typically aren't taught in the classroom. They help high school students learn leadership skills that prepare them to enjoy more satisfying, productive lives.
Hey, I've got a question for you. Who will you perform for?
This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the high school in your community.
There's nothing more spacious than Western Kansas, and nobody closer than our communities. We are determined to keep our communities connected to schools, kids to teachers and parents. We believe a connected world is a better place. We're more than what we do for our hometowns. It's what we do with our hometowns. S&T is proud to be your family, your friends, your neighbor.
At Red Barn Enterprises, we offer a full range of products to boost your farming success. As your locally owned Axis Seed regional company, we offer products to support the health and productivity of your crop. With a wide selection from BW Fusion, Meristem Crop Performance, and Pivot Bio, we have everything you need to protect your crop from abiotic stresses and feed it for top yields. Proudly supporting the Beavers, Red Barn Enterprises is your local partner committed to your crops and community. At Red Barn Enterprises, we're bringing you BW Fusion products to help your crops stress less and yield more. Discover the benefits of Amino, Relax RX, Full Sun, and BioBoost, each designed to enhance plant health and maximize yield. Proudly supporting Scott County Athletics, Red Barn Enterprises is your partner for a more resilient and productive future. Choose BW Fusion from Red Barn Enterprises today.
Are you willing to die for nicotine? In a world where vaping has become popular, traces of metals like arsenic, lead, and nickel have all been found within vapes. According to Hopkins Medicine, vaping can cause irritation and swelling in your lungs, leading to possible lung disease and a higher risk of heart attacks. So far, there have been 68 vaping-related deaths this year, and those numbers are only going to rise. Do you want to be next? Learn the truth about vaping at thetruth.com.
Going to be a good team to match up with Scott City and Norton. Sherry Brooks, she's in her fourth season. That's a pretty tradition-rich program. I think it's like the third coach in the last 33 years at least for the Norton program there. Of course, Kevin Joka was their longtime coach, and then Brooks is the second one since Coach Joka. But the team that had a 17-5 record a year ago. Lost a lot of seniors off that group. Lost to Holcomb. They had led the entire way and ended up losing by 1 in the sub-state semifinals last year. But as I mentioned, they're led by Hallie Brooks, who averages 12 points a game. Peyton Bailey, who's a 5'9 senior, tore her ACL in volleyball early in volleyball season. She was going to be one to be counted on. Also, another senior that plays quite a bit is Casey-Anna Kieswetter. She's a 5'1 senior, and she's a good threat from outside. She's hit 15 threes this year. Leah Clark is also one of those that's hit 10, as is Caroline Fernbach off the bench, who has hit 10 threes this year. The team that shoots 55% at the line. They're 28% from the field and 21% from three. Scott City a little better in all three categories. 39% field goals, 27% on threes, and 67% on twos. But Norton could be a pretty good rebounding team as well, so we'll see here. But Scott City, it's been really balanced. A lot of scoring, I should say, by multiple players across the board this year. Scott City will have, if they have 9 that play, you're on a routinely basis, you can have 8 to 9 scores. So it's a really balanced attack, but Avery Lewis has led the charge with that 9.6 points a game. Let's take a time.
At home and abroad, as SCHS student Shannon Stromberg and Rebecca Walter, under the direction of Mr. Chris Hubbard, sing our national anthem.
Delivering energy for life, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
All right, let's meet the starters here once again, presented by Security State Bank and Scott City and Leota. Free bill pay and online banking here. Starters tonight here for the Norton Lady Blue Jays. Sherry Brooks in her 4th season, assisted by Sheridan Avey. It's Emma Collins. She is a 5'6 sophomore, 2.5 points and 5.4 rebounds a game. This is a very young team. No juniors on their team. Pretty much seniors. 2 seniors that'll play, a bunch of sophomores, and a couple freshmen on the roster. Chloe Cox, she is a 5'4 sophomore. She averages 4.7 points and 3.2 rebounds a contest. Casey-Anna Kieswetter, a 5'1 senior, 7.6 points, 2.8 boards a game. Holly Brooks, a 5'11 senior, 12.3 points and 6.2 boards a game. And Leah Clark, she is a 5'7 sophomore, 2.4 points and 5.7 boards a game. Emma Collins, Chloe Cox, Casey-Anna Kieswetter, Holly Brooks, and Leah Clark for Norton. For Scott City, they are coached by Justin Froh in his 1st season, assisted by Tricia Good and Matt Fox. It'll be the regular 5 for the Lady Beavers. Kendall Gentry, she's the 5'5 senior at 5.5 points, 2.6 boards a game. A 5'11 junior Piper Fox at 8 points and 5.2 rebounds a game. Chris Irvin, a 5'5 junior at 3.8 points and just under 3 rebounds a game. Avery Lewis, she is a 5'9 senior, 9.6 points and 3.4 rebounds a game. And Megan Trout, the 5'10 senior, at 7.8 points and 5.7 boards. Kendall Gentry, Piper Fox, Chris Irvin, Avery Lewis, and Megan Trott, your starters. Your keys to the game, presented by State Farm agent Michael Trott, where you go with the proven winner. Keys tonight for Scott City, I think, use your length that high to your advantage. Also, big key for Scott City is going to be rebounding. This is a pretty decent rebounding team from Norton coming into town here tonight. Those are your keys to the game. Our officials, we have Tyler Hendricks, Jeff Blackburn, and also Colby Johnson. As the teams have made it to the center of the court here. Scott City is wearing their home white uniforms with the navy blue numbers, letters, and lighter blue trim. Norton in the road blue uniforms with the gold numbers, and that tip is going to go out of bounds. I think it's going to belong to Norton right off the tip, and it is. I'll say Fox was the last to touch it there in the center. So Norton with the possession first, just underway here in Scott City in the sub-state quarterfinal game. So here we go, and Scott City opens up in a 2-3 look here defensively. Out high left, Leah Clark. Keep in mind, postseason on, it's no shot clock in high school basketball. It was fun to see it this year, and that's the GWAC used. Now in the left corner, left open for a three, and it's too strong, though, for Cox, but Collins with the rebound, and they'll have another possession. Collins goes up and is fouled, excuse me. And so 2 free throws coming up here for Casey-Anna Kieswetter. They're going to get Avery Lewis with the fouler first. With 7:36 to go first quarter, no score. Kieswetter, she is a 54% free throw shooter. And that free throw will bounce in, and Norton leads at 1-0, just 24 seconds into the game. As a team, Norton 55%. Team riding a lot of momentum coming in. They won 5 of the last 6, and now they lead at 2-0. Scott City on the other side, kind of in the same boat as well. They've won 4 of their last 5, but Norton is going to apply some full court pressure, and they force a turnover and a layup, and it's 4-0. Hallie Brooks with the left-handed layup, and Norton with an early 4-0 lead, 30 seconds in. Scott City with it in the backcourt, now having to play from behind here. Early on here, 4-0 without attempting a shot here. Trying to drive in as Kendall Gentry goes right side to Piper Fox. Now to foul line to Avery Lewis, and her shot is too strong to the backside board to Megan Trout. Trying to go up and under, but now it's Kendall Gentry. She'll take it to the rack, and she'll lay it up and score it, and Scott City's on the board 4-2 with 7:03 to go first quarter. A nice answer back for Scott City off the Trout offensive board. So Lady Beavers are down 2 early on and splitting the defenders, the trap, and now here's Norton on the other end. Left corner it goes to Brooks. She's guarded by Fox, backs her way in, goes to right, bounces it up top to Chloe Cox. Now they go right side to Casey-Anna Kieswetter, almost stripped by Gentry, and it's going to be they're going to say she was eyed on the sideline, right over underneath the official, and it'll stay Norton Blue Jay basketball with 6:40 to go here in the opening period. 4-2 Norton lead with the basketball. They forced an early turnover on Scott City. They're 1 of 2 from the floor, as is Scott City. Up top with it, here's Chloe Cox. Goes left with the pass to Casey-Anna Kieswetter. Kieswetter holds it. Bounce pass goes out high to Leah Clark. Clark go right side to Cox. Now right baseline, here's Brooks, gets it stripped, trying to drive in, and now she's on the deck, and we're going to get a tie-up, and that'll be a turnover. Good defense by Scott City. Forcing the turnover there, and it's 1-2-2 full court pressure from Norton, and they're going to throw it away, and it's a second turnover in 3 possessions for Scott City. And now Kieswetter stumbles. Boy, got away with a walk their time, but Scott City trailing 4-2, 6 minutes to go first quarter. Norton with the basketball out high to Leah Clark. She loses the dribble, now gets it over to Kieswetter. Kieswetter with it. Bounce pass over left side to Chloe Cox. Scott City student section trying to get into it a little bit. Now bounce pass, here's Brooks. Trying to drive the baseline. He shoots a deep 2-0. Rebound Megan Trout, and we're going to have a push as Trout grabbed their second rebound of the quarter. Foul number 1 on Norton. They're going to get that on Leah Clark. It's not a particularly deep Norton team. They'll maybe play 2 off the bench at most. But Scott City needs to figure out this full court pressure. They get it into Trout to Avery Lewis. Lead pass. Fox did not see it coming her way. She'll knock it off the Norton Blue Jays. She was falling out of bounds and a good heady play. That'll save the possession for Scott City here with 5:42 to go first period. 4-2 lead for Norton. Scott City to inbound it underneath their own basket. Still kind of weird not having a shot clock. Lewis to trigger it in, finds Fox backside, and we're tied. 4-4 here, 5:38 to go first quarter, and a nice inbound play to Fox. Her and Avery Lewis with 10 points apiece in that win against Cimarron last Friday night. Norton only had 3 players score. Brooks had 16, Kieswetter had 11, and McLean they had 6 there. Off the bench, a shot, no. Rebound to Megan Trout as she rips it away, and Scott City will look for their first lead of the ball game. She has 3 rebounds for Scott City here in the first quarter. As we got 2 to check in for Scott City, 1 for Norton. Next dead ball. Lewis finds a cutting Kendall Gentry. Pump fakes, goes up, gets stuffed that time by Emma Collins, who grabs the board. She has both of the Norton boards. 4-4, we've played 3 minutes. Norton with the basketball as they move right to left wing to Leah Clark. One dribble, now needs help out high. We'll throw it up top to Brooks. Hallie Brooks with it near the half-court circle. 4:47 to work in the opening frame. Chloe Cox looking for a cutter, finds Brooks toward the right baseline. Now back high goes to Clark. She loses it and then picked up by Norton. Scott City did not go get the basketball as they stay in a 2-3. Kieswetter with it, ball fake, looking to drive in. Bounce pass up top to Brooks as Norton remains patient with the basketball. I think they want to keep this game in the 30s, and Scott City maybe wants to push the tempo a little bit in the 40s. Mackenzie Metzger and also Kaylee Felker in for Scott City for the first time. Megan Trout, Krista Irvin exit. And Norton will bring in Caroline Fernbrook, a 5'2 freshman, in for the first time. She averages 4 points a game off the bench. 4-4, 4:20 to go first quarter. Norton with the basketball. They love to get it to Brooks. She's kind of their do everything at 5'11". She can play out high. She can play down low. She's out high right now at the point. Now driving right side. Here's Kieswetter. She's cut off and now gets it out to Fernbrook, who will skip it over left side to Cox. Midway through this first quarter, ball deflected but picked up by Cox. Norton being extra patient with the possession. Ball fake. Now bounce pass goes up top to Brooks. She'll drive in. And he almost gets it stripped up and under move. Splits the defenders high at the glass. Misses badly. Let it play. And the rebound to Avery Lewis for Scott City. Scott City with another opportunity to take the first lead. Lewis finds Mackenzie Metzger wide open. Now bullet pass into Fox. Catches it. Goes up, but she's fouled. And that'll be a foul on Casey-Anna Kieswetter, her first. Norton second. Fox to line to try to give Scott City the first lead of the night with 3:37 to go opening frame. So 2 free throws for Fox. That one riddling in and out. She is a 69% free throw shooter. And it will be Peyton Gentry and Katie Weathers for Scott City. Pair of sophomores check in. As that'll be Avery Lewis and Kendall Gentry here with 3:37 to go first quarter. We're tied at 4. Fox trying to give Scott City a lead, and she does. 5 in a row for the Lady Beavers. Norton on a 4-minute drought. It's 5-4 Scott City with the Kieswetter just across half court. Now they have her trapped out high. They have her trapped in the corner, and she loses it. That might have been a timeout before. And let's see. It'll be taken by Norton. Ooh. 30-second timeout taken by Norton here. Saves the possession here. Basketball tonight brought to you by Ag Management Services, American Implement, B&H Paving, Bartlett Grain, Beavertown, FFL, Beef Belt, Burning Farms, Schultz, Flowers and More, Circle C Farms, Clinton's Diesel Repair. Also Farm Bureau Financial Services, Hugh and Berta Benz, Fairleigh Companies, and First National Bank. Scott City leading here 5-4 here in the first quarter. Colby all over Nickerson tonight, 69-18. That game being played at the Event Center in Colby. 3:26 here in the first quarter. Norton with the basketball. Scott City with a narrow lead at 5-4. It'll be Norton basketball out of the 30-second break, and Beloit over Lakin 60-38. I thank Aaron Dirks for providing me all these scores. He's got the ticker. Norton is going to almost throw it away, but good defense by Weathers, but somehow the Blue Jays keep possession of the basketball. 3:11 to go first period. Fernbrook with it now up and under. Here's Bailey, splits the defenders, and she's fouled. She'll get 2 free throws, and she's had 138 free throws through 21 games this year. Katie Weathers commits the foul first. Scott City's second team foul with 3:05 to go first quarter, and so 2 free throws for the senior Brooks, who averages 12 points and 6 boards a game. And that ties the game up for the second time at 5. 3:05 to go first quarter. She has 3 of Norton's 5. Second charity toss also good. She has 4 in a row. That breaks about a 4-minute drought, 4.5-minute drought for the Blue Jays. It's 6-5 Norton as we approach the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. Fox goes to her left, finds Mackenzie Metzger, open for a left wing 3. Bounces off. Rebound, Felker had it. It's knocked out of her hands. It'll stay with Norton here with 2:53 to go opening period. Scott City's substitution in. It'll be Megan Trout returning for Piper Fox. So everybody's had a little bit of a breather here today for Scott City in this first quarter. Working around the horn, and nice cut to Weathers in the paint, finds Megan Trout. Back up top to Peyton Gentry, 2:45 to work into Weathers. She loses it, but picks it back up and then gets stripped and stolen away. Scott City's third turnover of the quarter. 6-5 Norton with leading the ball, 2:35 to go. A little sluggish start here for Scott City. 3 turnovers in this first quarter. Norton slowing the pace down, and they have a wide open Fernbrook for the 3 air ball, but right to Bailey, who puts it up, missed it, might have been blocked. And the tie-up is going to give Norton the possession arrow. So Norton will keep possession of the ball with 2:23 to go first quarter. 6-5 your score, but feels like this pace is maybe played toward Norton's liking. Up top with it, ball fake for Brooks. Now left corner, deep 3 on the way. Hits the top of the backboard, but Norton with the rebound, and Kieswetter with a follow in and out and back home. She has 4 as well, and Norton the last 4 to go up 8-5 with 2:10 to go first quarter. But Kieswetter blocking out and getting the rebound off the missed 3. And Scott City back down by 3 with 2 minutes to go first quarter. Metzger out high with it. Katie Weathers back up top to Metzger. Into Trout. She has it right elbow. Now flips it back up to Metzger to Katie Weathers. She'll drive the left side, lobs it into Trout. Goes to her right. Pivots. Tough shot. Misses wide left into the hands of Hallie Brooks for the board. And Scott City continues to struggle from the field here in the first quarter. They're 2 of their first 6 with 3 turnovers. And Norton, they've had 3 of their first 8, but they're 4 of 4 at the line and lead at 8-5 with under 90 seconds to go first quarter. Kieswetter with it out right wing. Bounce pass up top to Fernbrook. Now left wing launching a 3 and off to left for Norton. That'll go out of bounds. That's put up by Chloe Cox. They're 2 of 10 as Norton from the floor. As Kendall Gentry and Ava Lewis return to lineup, Weathers and Peyton Gentry exit. But Scott City needs to get some offense going here. They've kind of been sluggish in this first quarter, 8-5. Final 70 first quarter seconds of the period with it as Kendall Gentry goes right side to Kaylee Felker, and Felker couldn't handle it. Now we're going to get another tie-up. Nope, saved. And now scrum. This time it feels like it's a rugby scrum. Now it's loose out high. Chris Irvin tried to pick it up. She finally does. No jump ball or anything. And now Irvin, he gets it over to Kendall Gentry at 50 seconds to work first quarter. Right side, here's Kaylee Felker. Into Trout, reels it in, goes to her left, now pivots to right, back to Felker. Short jumper right, rimming around and dropping home. Good ball movement, 8-7, 40 seconds to go first quarter. That was a wild possession that the Beavers needed a basket, and they got it. And almost stolen away, and they're going to get the foul on Kaylee Felker as Brooks hit the deck hard. She limps, and she's in pain. She says, I'm okay. They're going to get the foul on Kaylee Felker first. She went for the basketball as Brooks kind of had her arms extended, but they get Felker with the foul. That's Scott City's third. 33.3 to go first quarter. 8-7, Norton with the lead and the basketball. Throw it up top to Emma Collins. Norton may go for the final shot here. We'll see. They've been very patient in this first quarter. Now bounce pass, driving in. Here's Collins, right side, catch and shoot 3. Good. Nope, it is a 3 for Fehrenbach in the right corner. And Norton with the 11-7 lead with 14 seconds to go first quarter. Irvin gets fouled out high by Hallie Brooks. That's their first. Team foul number 3. And Coach Sherry Brooks is going to send in another Blue Jay sub. It'll be Cassidy McLean, a 5'6" sophomore. Scott City really needs to get a basket here to pull to at least 2, if not 1 here at the end of the period. It's their possession arrow in their favor to begin the second quarter as Hallie Brooks is going to get a quick breather in the 1-minute break. Lewis into Kaylee Felker with 10 seconds. Back up top to Lewis. To the scoreboard and then lobs it right corner to Kendall Gentry for a 3. A little strong on that one. Rebound Norton on the backside. Chloe Cox with 2 seconds. Stolen by Gentry. Puts it up. Can't get it to go as that's the end of your first quarter. Scott City with a 4-point deficit. 8 minutes into the books at 11-7 here. Good effort by Gentry. Just couldn't quite get that one to go. We'll come back in a minute for the second quarter of play. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
We believe investing in our community is how we make a lasting impact. It's about more than just providing wireless services. We believe in rolling up our sleeves and working side by side with local organizations. Whether you're sharing cherished moments, staying updated on trends, or exploring your surroundings, we're there to keep you connected. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Scott City with a 11-7 deficit here to the Norton Lady Blue Jays after the end of the first quarter here. Scott City shot 38%. Norton was at 27%. They attempted 3 more shots than the Lady Beavers. Both teams had 3 first quarter field goals. The difference really the 4-for-4 free throw shooting. Here's Avery Lewis going in, and she's going to be fouled. That's a foul on Hallie Brooks. That's a big one. That is her second. And that'll be team foul number 1 of the second quarter, and that'll get Avery Lewis to line, who is scoreless. Piper Fox had 3 of Scott City's 7 points. Hallie Brooks and Casey Anna Kieswetter each with 4 apiece for Norton. Free throw for Lewis is good, and Scott City to within 11-8. 7:47 to go first half as Norton will bring in a couple of subs. Piper Fox back in for Scott City. Caroline Fernbrook and also Emma Collins in for Norton as Hallie Brooks exits. Second free throw for Lewis is good as she is 83% on the year and cuts a deficit in half. First possession of the second quarter coming up here for Norton, leading Scott City 11-9. Lady Beavers are now 3 of 4 at the free throw line and almost a steal up top, and it is stolen by Gentry. Flips it back. Hope they get the 30-second timeout before the flip over to Chris Irvin. It was 7:35 to go first half, but Scott City does force the third Norton turnover of the half. Basketball also brought to you tonight by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Neil Baker, Fro Heating and Cooling, Fro Ag Service, Fro Electric, Good Anesthesia and Pain Management Services, Great Western Tire and Deck Mart Furniture and Appliance. Also, let's see here, High Choice Feeders, Hamamy Farms, HRC Feed Yards, and J&R Car and Truck. Holcomb leading Hoisington 14-8. That game in Holcomb at the end of the first quarter. So Holcomb with a 6-point lead over the Lady Cardinals. Here's 11-9 Norton early second quarter. 7:35 to go, and Scott City with the basketball. Lady Beavers have only had 1 lead in this ball game. That was at 5-4. They have the last 2 points of the ball game all at the line by Lewis. Into Fox. Power dribble goes to right and misses that one. Rebound into the hands of Casey Anna Kieswetter, who grabs her second board for Norton. Had a good look. Scott City just couldn't get it to finish. 11-9, Norton with the lead in the ball. First minute of the second quarter. At high goes to Caroline Fernbrook. Goes now to Chloe Cox. To Fernbrook, who's hit a 3 already in this first quarter. Throws it up top here to Kieswetter. Drives right side. Bounce pass right wing to Chloe Cox. Back up top to Fernbrook. Steps, in midair. Has to pass it off. And now Kieswetter in the right corner for a 3. No, rebound. Fox gets bodied up but ends up reeling it in for Scott City. Norton is not afraid to fire the trigger on the 3s. Here's Gentry, goes left to Avery Lewis. She'll try a deep 3 for the lead. That is going to be barely drawing iron. Trock couldn't get it, and she's the last to touch it out of bounds. It belonged to Norton. Scott City now 0 of 3 on 3s in the first half. Norton is 1 of 6 from downtown, and it's 11-9 here with 6:43 to go first half. But this pace feels like it's at Norton's pace. As I mentioned, they average just 36 points a game. Scott City averages 49, but and then we got a push out high on Megan Trout. That'll be her first. Team foul number 1 of the second quarter, says Tyler Hendrickson. Still not used to no shot clock after Scott City saw it for about 16 or 15 of their 20 games this year. Don't know if Norton had the shot clock at all. 90 seconds into the second period. 2-3 zone applied by Scott City again. Right baseline, it goes to Leah Clark. She is trapped, now finds an outlet out high. Goes to Emma Collins. Collins goes right side. With the dribble here is Fernbrook. Now right side, bounce pass, entry feed to the right block, underneath with it. Bounce pass now driving in. That's almost stolen away, and it is. Turnover number 4 on Scott City. Down the floor to Kendall Gentry. She'll slow it up and then finds Avery Lewis cutting the basket. Layup good. Lewis for the last 4, and we're tied for the third time at 11. 6:01 to go first half. Good pass play that time by Gentry to Lewis in transition, and now poked away in another turnover and a pushing foul out high. That'll be on Fernbrook, and that is her first. Team foul number 2 on Norton in the quarter with 5:54 to go first half, and Scott City looking to retake the lead here. They are tied up at 11 here with the Lady Blue Jays. Lewis with all 4 of Scott City's points this quarter as we're tied up at 11. Norton's leading scorer, Hallie Brooks, on the bench with 2 fouls right now. We'll see how long she stays on the bench. Up top now, good position for Trout, but the ball was poked away. It stays Lady Beaver basketball. 5:40 to go first half. Xavier Lewis to trigger it in. She has 4. Now into Trout. Corner to Gentry. Into Lewis at the right block. High off the glass. No. That one's Trout will save it to play, but to the hands of Norton. And a whistle and a pushing foul out high on Scott City. As Colby Johnson, that'll be on Piper Fox, her first. Scott City's second foul of the quarter. Collins with 3 rebounds, and Kaylee Felker, and she's going to replace Fox. But Scott City being out-rebounded by Norton here in this first half, 9-4. And it's 11-11, 5.5 to go first half. Norton hasn't scored in about 3 minutes here. Now driving left side, here's Kieswetter, and that's going to be a block on Kaylee Felker. That'll be her second, and Scott City's third team foul of the quarter. So Scott City now with a little foul trouble from the bench here, and Kaylee Felker. And Mackenzie Metzger is going to sub in for her, likely. Yep, that's going to be the case with 5:22 to go first half. So it's Megan Trout, Kendall Gentry, Krista Irvin, Mackenzie Metzger, and Avery Lewis on the floor for Scott City. They'll get it in here, left wing to Chloe Cox, guarded tightly by Gentry. She loses it, deflected at half court, but she'll pick it back, or to half court, I should say. Kieswetter crosses over dribble, gets a screen. Scott City stays in that 2-3 zone. In the middle, flashing in is Leah Clark, and that's going to be kicked, they'll say, by Scott City with 5:09 to go first half as Katie Weathers returns for Krista Irvin, and that'll kind of realign a bigger front wall in that 2-3 zone and underneath the basket for Scott City. Kieswetter to trigger it in for the Norton Lady Jays. She'll lob it in, and it's going to be stolen away. Turnover number 6. Metzger trying to fend off the defender, and she gets pushed that time by Cox, her first. And that'll be Norton's third team foul of the second quarter. And Coach Sherry Brooks is going to send Hallie Brooks to the scores table to check in, even with her 2 fouls. If you're Scott City, you got to try to get her into her third foul. 5:05 to go first half. We've been tied at 11. Inbound into Katie Weathers, now finds Mackenzie Metzger. Off a screen, with it is Avery Lewis, guarded by Brooks. We'll throw back up top to Metzger. Norton now in his zone. With it is Gentry, goes right corner to Katie Weathers. She'll penetrate, kicks it out high to Gentry. A 3 for the lead is short. The rebound, Avery Lewis. She'll crash the board and score it. And Scott City on a 6-0 run, all by Lewis in the second quarter. 13-11, 4:40 to go first half. As Lewis has all 6 of her points here in the second quarter, and they almost force a turnover out high. 4:35 to go second quarter, 13-11 Scott City. Norton with the basketball. Norton hasn't scored in almost 4 minutes here. That was on a 3 by Fernbrook, the freshman. Scott City stays in their 2-3 zone. Fernbrook with the basketball, guarded by Metzger. 2-3 zone almost stolen away by Weathers, but pulling up, driving in, splitting the defenders, and Trout will be called for the foul, her second, as Brooks takes it to the rack there. Trout kind of stuck her leg out, and now Scott City with some post players in foul trouble. Trout with 2 and Felker with 2. Free throws coming up for Brooks, who is 2 of 2 at the line. She is a 62% free throw shooter. Norton is 4 of 4 at the line tonight, down by 2. And they're down by 1. Now break a 6-0 Scott City run with 4:25 to go first half at 13-12. Brooks has 5 of their 12 points. Scott City's substitutions in. Peyton Gentry and Piper Fox back in. Avery Lewis will get a break, as will Megan Trout, who has 2 fouls. Brooks rattles that one in, and we're tied for the 4th time. 13-all, 4:25 to go second quarter. So Scott City's hot hand in the second quarter right now on the bench, and Scott City almost throws it away, kept alive by Mackenzie Metzger. Up top to Gentry. Gentry will drive through, parts the sea of Blue Jays, and will go to the line for 2. With 4:14 to go first half. That'll be on Leah Clark, and now that's her second foul. So Gentry trying to break the 13-all tie, and that one will rim off for Scott City, and she'll get another one. We're still at 13-13, 4:14 to go first half. Second free throw for the lead. Too strong as well. Rebound, tie up, it's going to be Norton basketball. Kendall with 2 points tonight, but Norton with the basketball, tied at 13, midway mark of the second quarter here. Well, inbound it in. With it now is Hallie Brooks in the front court, goes to Chloe Cox, and now with it here is Emma Collins. Collins with it, goes over to Brooks. She'll fire a 3 on the left side, airballs it out of bounds, and that'll belong to Scott City with 3:59 to go first half. 13-13 your score. It's been a 6-2 run in this second period for Scott City. And now Metzger finds Peyton Gentry up top. Ball deflected, but right to Katie Weathers. Weathers will drive left side, dishes it into Fox. Now Gentry steps back. Can she hit the three? The answer's yes. Gentry hits the right wing three, her 10th of the year. 16-13 Beavers, with 3.5 to go first half. So Scott City with their largest lead at 3 here. 3.5 to go second period. Both teams with 4 fouls in this second quarter, and there's an answer back three, and it'll bounce off, and the rebound tipped around. That's going to be last touch by Norton. That was put up by Chloe Cox, and it'll belong to Lady Beavers. Let's see if they can extend their run here. They're on a 9-2 run in this second quarter. 3:15 to go before intermission. Gentry pulls up at the paint. Bank shot, no. Rebound Norton into the hands of Emma Collins, and Fox was oh so close to picking up her second foul. Nice job by Kendall Gentry deflecting the pass out of bounds as Chris Irvin will come in for Kendall. In for Norton is Cassidy McLean and also Casey Anna Kieswetter. Out is Emma Collins and also Caroline Therenbrook for Norton. Scott City has Kendall Gentry exiting, as I mentioned. With it is Brooks. 3 minutes to go first half. Ball deflected, but right back to Bailey, and that's going to be a charge taken by Piper Fox on the left baseline. Hallie Brooks now with 3 fouls with 2:57 to go, and she is going to have to sit down the rest of the first half. Back in will be Chloe Cox to replace Brooks, who is their leading scorer. She has 6 points, including 4 of 4 at the line. And Scott City, they said that was a 2, I guess, for Gentry. It's 15-13 with 2:50 to go first half. I did not see that. Now an unforced error up top on Scott City, so they have a 2-point lead. That matches their large lead. I apologize for that error. 2:49 to go first half, 15-13 your score. So I guess that wasn't a 3 for Gentry. She has 4 instead of 5. Inbound in. Kieswetter with it. Norton, by the way, has 5 fouls in the quarter. Scott City has 4, but Norton has turned the ball over handful of times in this second quarter. They get it in just inside the left elbow. Ball deflected, but Kieswetter has it. Now bounces it somehow over right side for the tie. It's good for McLean, and we're tied at 15. 2.5 to go first half. That's the first field goal for Norton in over nearly 6 minutes. Our 5th tie of the half. We've had 4 lead changes, and Metzger with the travel up top, and Scott City with back-to-back turnovers there. Avery Lewis in for Mackenzie Metzger. 15-15. 2:22 to go second quarter. Lady Beavers need to take advantage of Hallie Brooks on the bench with 3 fouls here. Kieswetter slips but stays in the backcourt with the dribble. Now they still have it. They get it across with a couple seconds to spare. Kieswetter loses it. Now Lewis dives for it, and we got a tie up at half court, but then stolen away. Here's Katie Weathers for an uncontested left-handed layup, and she's got it. The pressure up top worked. Weathers on the board. 17-15. Timeout Norton. 1:59 to go first half. It is a full. We'll take it as well. Scott City back up top by 2. Back in a minute. This is Lady Beaver basketball.
Great Western Tire of Scott City is available for tire repair and replacement, oil changes, tire rotation, balancing, alignment, and bulk fuel delivery to keep your equipment going. They also offer 24-hour emergency service calls. Deckmart Furniture and Appliances. At Deckmart, they offer a variety of quality furniture, including sofas, recliners, lift chairs, dining sets, bars, bar stools, mattresses, and more. They carry GE and Speed Queen appliances and are happy to quickly service what they sell with a local repairman. Great Western Tire and Deckmart Furniture and Appliances. Small-time friendliness with big city service and quality.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Kansas.
This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, we're back here at Scott Community Events Center. 1:59 to go second quarter. Lady Beavers back on top 17-15. Scott City is going to apply some full court pressure out of the timeout as they will run the baseline. They'll get inbounded into Cassidy McLean. She'll drive left baseline. Oh, she travels with it out high. That is Norton's 10th turnover. That is her 8th of the second quarter. And with 1:56 to go first half, Scott City with a 2-point lead in the ball, 17-15. First home sub-state game for the Lady Beavers since 2020. They went to state that year. Inbound into Katie Weathers. She'll drive in. She tried to dish it in. Now it's Lewis, picked up by Piper Fox, trying to feed it off, and it's now a hot potato out there. It's a race for the ball. Lewis has it in the back court, and then she got pushed. And they do call the pushing foul on Caroline Fernbrook. That was an easy call there by the official, Jeff Blackburn. They're letting him play, but boy, that was you could see the hands on the back of Avery Lewis's back, and that's a second foul on Caroline Fernbrook. So Norton with Fairbrook and Clark with 2, and Hallie Brooks with 3 fouls. Scott City with Felker and Trout each with 2 fouls. Lewis back to the line. She has 6 of Scott City's 10 points here in this second quarter with 1:44 to go first half. Free throw on the way is just rimming off. Scott City they're struggled a little bit at the line in this first half. They're now 2 of 5 in this second quarter and just 3 of 7 at the line in the half. Norton is a perfect 6 for 6. Free throw number 2 is good, and Lewis hits it. She has now 7, 18-15, 1:44 to go second quarter. With it in the backcourt is Chloe Cox in the front court. Fahrenbrook, she stays in the ball deflected by, and then that was forced by Irvin. Great defense out high and forces Norton in their 11th turnover. Irvin with some superb defense out high. Scott City looking to add to their lead here. This is their largest lead at 3. 95 first half seconds remain as Peyton Gentry takes it across. And now to Chris Irvin, right side to Katie Weathers, back up top. They're working around left side to Peyton Gentry, swings left baseline to Lewis. Back up top to Gentry. That's Peyton Gentry now to Chris Irvin. Right side, a little high for Katie Weathers. She'll save it into play, but right to Piper Fox. Try to get to the Trout now to foul line to Peyton Gentry. Bank shot, yes, it'll bounce in. Little hockey assist that time, 20-15, 1:10 to go first half. Lady Beavers to the largest lead at 5. As we're in the final minute of this first half, almost a double dribble in the backcourt. Almost a carry now for Fernbrook, and she has to lob it to Clark, get it across, and a whistle and a pushing, or a 10 count and a turnover. That's Norton's 12th of the half. Good defense for Scott City once again, as out is Katie Weathers. Returning the lineup is Megan Trout. Trout has to be careful not pick up a third foul here with under a minute to go first half. Inbound into Chris Irvin. Finds it right side. Now up tight to Peyton Gentry. Now left baseline to Avery Lewis. She'll drive in her runner. Bank no. Right to Trout. She'll go up. She's got it and one. Trout on the board. Her first points. 22-15. 48.9 to go first half. Good offensive board that time for Scott City. That foul charge to Emma Collins, her first. Norton has picked up a lot of fouls in this quarter. 48.9 to go first half. Trout's free throw barely draws iron. Fox saves in the play, but right in the hands of Cassidy. Though nonetheless, but Lady Beavers with their largest lead. They're on a 15-4 run in this second period. 40 seconds to work first half, 22-15. Norton with their leading scorer on the bench with 3 fouls. That bank shot is up and no good, but a foul. And that might be on Trout, and that's her third. 2 free throws coming up for Leah Clark here. That's a 15 foul regardless on Scott City. Nope, that's on a Mackenzie Metzger. Oh, no, it is on Megan Trout. Excuse me, I was right. That's her third foul with 35.5 seconds to go. Free throw number 1 is rimming in and out for Leah Clark, who's a 55% free throw shooter. Now Trout has to exit with 3 fouls, and boy, that was one of those, a tough break there for Scott City. Second free throw coming up here for the sophomore Clark, and she's short as well. Rebound boxing out is Chris Irvin. Scott City with a 7-point lead late second quarter, 22-15 on a 15-4 run in this period. Norton now 6 of 8 at the line this half. With it, Kaylee Felker, she loses it, and Norton will pick it up in a turnover and a whistle, and then they get a push. Scott City not playing smart basketball in that last couple of seconds here, and now Kaylee Felker with 3 fouls. 21.8 to go first half. And Norton back on the other end to shoot free throws. So now Scott City with 2 players with 3 fouls, as that'll be Chloe Cox with 2 free throws coming up here. Free throw number 1 is bouncing off. And now back in will be Mackenzie Metzger and Kendall Gentry, Peyton Gentry, and Kaylee Felker exit. So Felker and Trout all with 3 fouls for Scott City. Here at 21.8 to go first half. Second free throw is good. She hits 1 out of 2. Just a 44% free throw shooter. 22-16, 21.8 to go second quarter. Lady Beavers with a 6-point lead in the ball. Irvin with it. Goes the right corner to Mackenzie Metzger. She'll put it on the floor back up top to Irvin. 13 seconds into Fox. Now wrap around. They get a hack on That might be unfair, Brooke. That's her third if that's the case, with 9.9 to go first half. And it is. So Fernbrook with 3 fouls with 9.9 to go first half. Her and Hallie Brooks each with 3 fouls. So both teams have 2 players with 3 fouls. Funks 1 of 2 at the line and make it 2 of 3 and makes it 23-16. 9.9 to go before halftime as Casey Anna Kieswetter in for Norton. She'll replace Fernbrook with her 3 fouls. Second free throw coming up, and that one's short. Rebound Norton. Leah Clark with her first board. Blue Jays with the final crack hit with 5 seconds, but Kendall Gentry steals it. Gentry's going to take this one all the way. She'll lay it up. Yeah, it'll spin off in the rebound. Oh, they're going to get a weight foul right at the end. Now, is that going to be a foul after the horn sounded? That's the only thing. Gentry beside herself that she missed the layup. The officials are going to talk things over. They could have free throws here at the end of the first half. The officials are talking things over. I think this could be a shooting or a foul on Scott City right at the end of the first half. And that's the case. That'd be Metzger's first. The officials are talking things over here. And that is a foul on Scott City. Metzger her first, and that'll be 2 free throws for Norton with time out in the first half. Tough break for the Beavers. And Kieswetter, who is 2 of 2 for the line, can make this a 5-point game right at the end of the first half. That happened simultaneously right as the horn sounded. Got to love the aggressiveness. They actually add some time on the clock. They'll put 0.3 of a second. So 2 free throws for Kieswetter, and Norton can make this a 2-possession game going to the locker room with a little momentum. First of 2 is rattling in and out and back home for Kieswetter. She has 5, 23-17. 0.3 of a second to go, but Scott City's kind of leaving that door open for Norton here with the fouls here this end of the second quarter in the final minute. The second free throw good, and it's 23-18. They will have only hit 1 field goal in this second quarter, but Norton with 7 points, and they are staying in this game because of their free throw shooting. 23-18, Scott City leads it at the break over the Norton Lady Blue Jays. Let's step aside for a 3-minute break. Come back with some first half stats and more. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
It's easy to see that Scott City Eye Center cares for your vision. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Joshua Gooden today.
Fredy Heating and Cooling of Scott City is a proud sponsor of Beaver activities. Brent and Angie take pride in helping our activities and support our students 100%. They can also help you with any heating and cooling needs that you have. Give Fredy Heating and Cooling a call at 620-872-3508 and see if they can help you with your needs today.
BBN is brought to you by Shapland Real Estate, State Farm, Norder Supply Incorporated, Ag Management Services, Vogelmore Family Farms, White's Food Liner, Scott Community Foundation.
Hey, are you sure this is a good idea? Stop being so negative. I know what I'm doing. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 37 people a day lose their life due to drunk driving. Every death is just 39 minutes apart and preventable. Be smart. Call a cab. Know the risk of drunk driving.
23-18, Scott City leads it at the break over the Norton Lady Blue Jays. Your halftime show once again presented by Precision Ag and Seed. Adam Kadavy with you here from Scott Community Event Center here. A sub-state quarterfinal match that the winner gets the Holcomb Longhorns or the Hoisington Lady Cardinals. Holcomb was leading pretty big last check in that one late second quarter over the Hoisington Lady Cardinals. Some finals are starting to trickle in. We'll get to some of those a little bit later on the first half, but it's been a first half of 5 ties and 4 lead changes. Scott City would outscore Norton in that second quarter 16-7. Biggest story, they were able to get Norton's leading scorer, Hallie Brooks, into foul trouble. She had 3, but Scott City would also get 2 players with 3 fouls in the first half. And Norton staying in this game primarily because of their free throw shooting. Scott City forced 12 turnovers on Norton, but the Lady Beavers, with some not good fouls here at the end of this first half, has kept the game in reach for Norton. First half scoring looks like this. Casey Anna Keyswetter and also Hallie Brooks each with 6 points for Norton. Keyswetter 4 for both of them with only 1 field goal in that first half. 3 for Caroline Fernbrook. She has the game's lone 3-point basket. That came in the first quarter. 2 for Cassidy McLean and Emma Collins, or correction, Chloe Cox added a free throw for Norton. The Blue Jays, as I mentioned, had 12 turnovers. They had a bunch of those in the second quarter. Give credit to Scott City, though. They have been pretty good on defense in this second period. Norton would only have 1 field goal in that second period as they would go 5 of 8 from the line in the second quarter. They would out-rebound Scott City 12-7 in the first half. 4 steals for Norton in the first half. For Scott City, they were led by Avery Lewis with 7. She had all those in the second quarter. Kendall Gentry and Piper Fox each with 4. And then you had 4 others with 2 points. Peyton Gentry, Katie Weathers. Also to Kaylee Felker and Megan Traub. But Scott City really struggling at the foul line. We'll get to those numbers here in a little bit in our halftime show. But Scott City, though, with 6 turnovers. They've done a good job of cutting the turnovers down in the first half. Also, they did have 6 steals. They had 7 rebounds total. 23-18 is your score. Let's step aside for another timeout of a couple minutes. We'll come back to the rest of your first half stats. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
Red Barn Enterprises is proud to offer Meristem crop performance products, including Upshift C and Revline Hopper Throttle. These innovative products help reduce fertilizer waste and boost your crop's performance, ensuring healthier plants and better yields. Committed to our community, we proudly support Scott County Athletics. Choose Red Barn Enterprises and Meristem crop performance products to enhance your farm's efficiency.
Hi, my name is Joey Langstrat, and I go to Basehor-Linwood High School in Basehor, Kansas. Playing youth sports, we seem to lose sight of academics when athletics is what we focus on the majority of the time. At the end of the day, there will be a time when all the games, meets, matches, and tournaments come to an end. Academics are what will lead to jobs and a bright future for students outside of sports, and this is why they are important to keep track of. Thank you for listening to this message by the Kansas State High School Activities Association Student Advisory Team.
Your sub-state quarterfinal matchup between Scott City and Norton Lady Beavers right now with a 5-point lead at 23-18. 22-18. First half stats here. Look at the percentages. Norton just 4 of 15 from the floor in the first half for 27%. They were 1 of 8 on threes, 3 of 7 on twos, and 9 of 12 from the free throw line. As I mentioned, they were kind of that was what's keeping them in the game, and they had a couple, or with 0.3 of a second, had 2 free throws there at the end of the first half, and so that's got Norton to within 5 at 23-18. Scott City had built up their lead to 7 late second quarter, but man, missed opportunities for Scott City, and maybe being a little over-aggressive with 2 fouls as well. Maybe a little bit an issue. You got to love the effort, but also at the same time, you got to know how many fouls you have and can't be overly aggressive. Scott City was 9 of 22 from the floor in the first half, 41%. They were 0 of 4 on threes, and make that 0 of 5 on threes, 9 of 17 on twos, and 5 of 11 from the foul line. As I mentioned, they were only 5 of 11. The foul trouble, Kaylee Felker, Megan Trout with 3 for Scott City. Norton had 3 fouls each for Hallie Brooks and Caroline Fernbrook, and 2 from Leah Clark. The winner will more than likely go to Holcomb next Tuesday night. Holcomb with a 19-point lead over Hoisington in the third quarter. Cimarron and Goodland playing earlier tonight. The the Goodland Cowgirls picked up the quarterfinal win. It's a Cimarron Goodland sub-state doubleheader tonight because the boys are playing each other as well with Cimarron and Goodland. 44-19 Goodland over Cimarron tonight. Also Colby with a big win. 69-18 over Nickerson, and Beloit over Lakin, 60-38. Those are the finals that we have in for you. It'll be Scott City ball to begin the third quarter. Avery Lewis, Kendall Gentry, Megan Trout, Piper Fox, and Chris Irvin. Inbound into Fox. She's going to drive it left side. She'll take it all the way. Her runner is no good, but she draws the blocking foul, and that'll be on Emma Collins, her second. And Fox back to the line where she is 2 of 4 tonight, just 4 seconds into the third quarter. Got to love the aggressiveness by Fox, and 2 free throws coming up. Scott City, as I mentioned, has struggled at the line, just 5 of 11 for a team that's shooting 67%. Maybe this North goal will be the difference. Well, it's so far in the first point, 24-18, 7:56 to go third quarter. Boys will take the court here tomorrow night at home against Kingman at 6 o'clock here at the Event Center. Fox's second free throw in and out. She remains at 50% tonight, and Hallie Brooks with the board. She is 3 of 6 in the line. Scott City 6 of 13 now at the line, as they have a 6-point lead just underway second half. Lady Beavers stay at their zone defense. Bounce pass out high right to Chloe Cox. Back up top to Casey-Anna Kieswetter. Now a screen right corner. Here's a 3, and that is good. Chloe Cox hits her 26th of the air, and that's 24-21. 7:35 to go third quarter, and Lady Blue Jays with some pressure in the backcourt, but Scott City breaks it. And Lewis will slow it up and give it to Kendall Gentry. Gentry crosses over, drives right side, and then she loses it. They'll say last touch by Norton. It'll remain with Scott City as it was deflected out of bounds with 7:22 to go third quarter. So Norton now has pulled back to within 3 on their second 3 of the night, 24-21. Scott City yet to hit a triple in this game. Lewis trying to inbound it, trying to avoid the 5 count, gets it into Piper Fox. Fox holds it, now finds a cutting Gentry who's behind her, back to Fox, then back up top to Metzger, who's in there actually starting in the second half for Trout, who has 3 fouls. Now the bounce pass, here's Chris Irvin, 7:10 to go. Irvin tries to drive in and loses it, but stripped back by Fox, but then kept picked alive by Norton. Scott City's 7th turnover, and Norton can tie with a 3 here. Brooks in transition to Collins underneath. Bounce pass stolen away by Gentry, and I think it's going to be Scott City basket. Nope, it'll be Norton basketball. A lot of contact, but good hustle by Gentry. They've let him play physical here tonight, both sides. 6:56 to go here in the third period. Norton to triggered in. They get it up top to Brooks. Brooks with it out high. Norton with 2 threes in the game now, left block. Trying to get right side. Here's Kieswetter. Lead pass to the right block to Collins. Now out high. Kieswetter the tie for 3, and she got it. Norton, who only hit 1 field goal in the second quarter, has 2 threes, and they have tied it up at 24 with 6:39 to go third quarter. It's a 30-second timeout for Coach Justin Froh, as that's our 6th tie of the night with 6:39 to go third quarter. Basketball presented here by J. Andrew Trucking, JF Bibber Advertising, Jackson Legal Group, Lebanon Lawn and Tree, Lone Tree Farms and Livestock, Metzger Appraisals and Metzger Family Farms, Midwest Mixer, Miller Veterinary Clinic, Norder Supply, New Life Market, Perfect Auto Detailing, Plain Jansen Platinum Age Insurance, also Pokey Feeders, Precision Ag, and Seed Pioneer Communications, Our Brothers Auto Body Mechanic, Richards Financial Services, Roden Bink Green Agency, Iron Insurance Partners, and Rotomix. Norton has tied this game up at 24 now After back-to-back threes to open up the second half by Chloe Cox and Casey-Anna Kieswetter. Those are their top 2 3-point shooters. And we're tied at 24 with 6:39 to go, third period. And Norton's going to apply some full-court pressure out of Scott City's 32nd timeout. Metzger to inbound it in here. And it'll get into Krista Irvin. Back to Metzger. 6:35 to go. Metzger still deep in the backcourt. Needs help. Finds, they'll throw it away right to the bench of Norton, and Scott City back-to-back turnovers. Peyton Gentry, and also back in is Katie Weathers here. And Scott City not taking care of the basketball there on the last couple of trips. It'll be Norton basketball. They have not led it here since early second quarter when they led, been 11-9 early second period. It's a 6-1 run for the Blue Jays. The 3-ball has equalized this game up at 24. They've hit 2 threes to begin this third quarter, and Norton with a chance for their first lead of the second half. We're 90 seconds into this third period. Bounce pass now back up top. It'll go to Casey-Anna Kieswetter. Does Scott City get out of their 2-3 zone? We'll see. Chloe Cox now. Here's Brooks driving in. Runner for the lead. Banked off, and the rebound. Weathers had it, but then she was out of bounds. It'll stay Norton basketball. 6:13 to go, third period. Lob up top. Other than the turnovers, Norton's kind of winning a lot of the statistical categories. The rebound's a big one. The turnovers, no. The fouls, no. But the three-point shooting, yes. And the free throws cut. It's almost stripped away, and it is. There's a bad pass behind Collins. 13th Norton turnover. Scott City looking for their first field goal of the second half, and a step and shoot deep. 2 for Peyton Gentry. No rebound. Piper Fox lost it, but ends up tracking it down. Lady Beavers with it. Fox gets a strip. It picked up by Kendall Gentry. Back to Peyton Gentry out high. Lobs underneath to Katie Weathers. Catches it. Leaves it short, and the rebound goes to Leah Clark. On a whistle and a tie-up, it'll be Norton ball in the possession arrow with 5:37 to go, third period. They had a great execution that time, but Weathers just left it short there in the right between the backboard and the rim, and Norton with a chance to take the lead yet once again as Scott City applies some pressure in the backcourt. 5.5 to go, third period. The pass is going to be thrown away. Katie Weathers and down the floor to Kendall Gentry. Up and over. Too strong on the rebound. Norton with it. That time, Hallie Brooks kind of forced a tough shot there. Scott City applying some pressure in the backcourt. 5:20 to go, third quarter. Man, the missed layups. And now Norton turns the ball over for the 15th time. Scott City's starting to turn it back up on the defensive end, but they need to start turning some points off of these turnovers here. With 5:18 to go, third quarter, we're tied at 24. Inbound into Piper Fox, out high to Kendall Gentry. Holds it now. A couple dribbles. She'll penetrate. Goes right wing to Avery Lewis. Steps back, but now right corner to Gentry. Ball fake. Feeds it to Weathers to the right block. Now she'll go out high to Peyton Gentry. She'll drive in. Kick it to her sister Kendall. She'll drive in. Pulls up the tough shot. Might have been partially blocked. And the rebound to Leah Clark for Norton. Scott City struggling from the floor here in this third quarter. 0 of 4. Norton is 2 of 3. And they're going to lose it out of bounds for the 16th turnover with 4:49 to go, third period. Kaylee Felker returns to the lineup. And she'll replace Avery Lewis. Still have not seen Megan Trout here in this third quarter. It's Chris Irvin returns for Kendall Gentry. Out is Casey-Anna Kieswetter for Norton. And back in is Caroline Fernbrook with her 3 fouls. We're tied at 24. We're a little over 3 minutes into this third quarter. Scott City has not had a field goal in almost 4 minutes here. With it is Peyton Gentry. Now she'll drive in, throw it right corner to Katie Weathers. She'll drive in strong, layup too strong, and the rebound, strong move I should say, Fernbrook for Norton. And Scott City still cannot get a field goal in this quarter or this half. The only point is coming at the foul line from, and is that going to be over and back? Yep, it is. That'll be 17th Norton turnover. But only point to this quarter belongs to Piper Fox, and Norton with 3 consecutive turnovers here as they'll bring in Cassidy McLean for Chloe Cox. But Scott City tied at 24 Norton as we're near the midway mark of this third quarter. A 6-1 Norton run. Scott City hasn't scored in over 3 minutes. Kaylee Felker holding it, finds Peyton Gentry, goes to Katie Weathers. She'll put on the floor back to Peyton Gentry, now up top. Irvin goes right side to Fox, finds Weathers. She'll drive in, bumped. A lot of contact to let it play. Here's Irvin driving right side. 4:09 to go into Fox. She'll get tied up, or no, should be called for a draw holding foul. The answer is yes. Second team foul on Norton in the quarter. That's just the first on Cassidy McLean. with 4:07 to go, third stanza. Tied at 24. Irvin to trigger it in for the Lady Beavers. Still looking for their first field goal this second half. Into Fox. Oh, she walks with it. Got a little too ahead of herself. And Scott City commits turnover number 8. Make that number 9. And now Scott City will apply some full court pressure here. 4:05 in the third quarter, tied at 24. Been stuck there for almost 3 minutes. Brooks will throw it now in the front court. With it is Norton in the hands of Leah Clark. Pass is lost and stolen away in the turnover. Katie Weathers may take this one all the way. She'll drive in. Her layup too strong and knocked out by, they're going to say last touch by Peyton Gentry. Tough break there, but Tyler Hendricks had the call. But Scott City still cannot buy a basket, and it'll belong to Norton with 3:51 to go, third quarter. They have not scored in 4 minutes. Norton is on a 3-minute drought. Lead pass, and that's going to be thrown away for the 19th turnover. Not good basketball either side here in this third quarter, as both teams will sub in one. Kieswetter in for Norton. Megan Trout in for Scott City for Piper Fox. Out is going to be McLean for Norton. With 3:46 here in this third period, we're tied at 24. We've been stuck here for 3 minutes. A lot of turnovers, a lot of missed shots, particularly by Scott City, but they need to get a basket here. Katie Weathers now up top to Peyton Gentry to Chris Irvin. Irvin holds it. Back up top to Gentry. Holds it, now flashing Felker in the paint. Trying to throw one up and a lot of contact. They'll say it's blocked and out of bounds. It'll stay with Scott City. With 3:26 to go, third period. You got to love the effort by Felker. Maybe trying to draw a foul there, and Scott City will inbound it here, tied at 24. But this pace has favored Norton into Trout. Nice cut and a layup, no, but a foul. That'll be the third on Leah Clark, and Trout to the line to shoot two, where she has 2 points tonight and is 0 of 1 at the line. Third team foul of the third period on Norton. Scott City yet to commit a foul. Lewis will check in after this free throw. Trout, let's see if she can get a free throw to drop in. Scott City just 6 of 13 at the line and make it 6 of 14. Man. Out is going to be Peyton Gentry. In is Chloe Cox for Norton to replace Leah Clark. Her, Hallie Brooks, and Caroline Fernbrook with 3 fouls for the Blue Jays. Two of the 3 are on the floor. Trout's second free throw to break the tie. Cannot get it, and rebounding and free throws have been a struggle tonight for Scott City. Norton is winning those battles in a big way, and also at the three-point line. We're tied at 24, 3:15 to go, third quarter. Brooks up top, and a 3 for the lead is airballed and out of bounds. That's put up by Chloe Cox. She hit a 3 early in the third quarter to pull to within 24-21. But Scott City needs to stay aggressive here. Be smart with the basketball. Kaylee Felker, left corner, holds it. Trying to force it in and a turnover. And a foul. And that might be on Trout. That would be her 4th, and it is. Boy, she's really had a rough night. With 2:58 to go, third quarter. So the turnover and the foul, that is Scott City's 9th turnover, make that 10th turnover of the night, but then Trout exits now with 4 fouls. And tied at 24 here with 2:58 to go, third period. Free throws a big issue for Scott City. And Norton is going to throw it away on their 20th turnover of the night. They try to get the lead pass to Chloe Cox, but she couldn't catch up to it fast enough. Scott City's biggest lead has been at 7, but Norton hit 2 free throws with 0.3 of a second to pull to within 5. Scott City hasn't had a point in 5 minutes. They're 0-4 in the second half from the field and just 1 of 4 at the line this quarter. Left corner to Kendall Gentry. Don't need to force it, just you got to move the ball around swiftly, get Norton out of position and get a good shot. Metzger with it. Now over to Chris Irvin with 2:35 to work third period. Back up top to Metzger. Norton goes to his zone now. Fox, she'll drive in, bowl her way, throws up a wild shot, no, and the rebound to Bailey, and that's kind of a forced shot there by Fox as well. Or correction, Brooks there for Norton. 2:20 to go, third period, and Norton with a chance to retake the lead. They haven't scored in 4 minutes. Kieswetter drive the right baseline. She's cut off, and now to Hallie Brooks, and she'll get it knocked out of bounds, so 2:11 to go, third quarter. Brooks with 6 points. Kieswetter leads them in 9 points tonight. We're tied at 24. We've been stuck here for 4.5 minutes. And now Irvin trying to tie up here with Fernbrook in the right corner. Ball poked away but kept alive by Collins. And then we get a timeout for Norton. We'll take it as well. It's a full with 2:05 to go third quarter. We're still tied at 24. Let's step away for a minute. This is Beaver basketball.
You want plain talk with exceptional results? Count on Norton Supply to serve you. With over 40 years of experience in the crop protection.
Western State Bank, Backyard Blooms and Garden Center, LLC, Spray Foamit, LLC, Good Anesthesia and Pain Management Services.
At American Implement, we know that our farmers and ranchers are getting up and going to work every morning to provide food, fuel, and fiber for the world. And even though time and technology keeps us constantly changing, one thing will always remain the same. We promise that we'll continue working right beside you. We appreciate all that you do for our country and our communities. From all of us at American Implement, thank you, and may God bless the American farmer and rancher.
It's a 6-1 run for Norton in this third quarter. We haven't seen any scoring since the 6:44 mark of the third quarter, as we're just outside of 2 minutes to go third quarter. Norton had to call one of their timeouts, and that's going to be a pushing foul through a screen on Scott City. That'll be on Gentry, just their first. Team foul number 2 at the 2-minute mark of the third quarter. 24-24, Scott City and Norton all tied up here. Coach Justin Froh, trying to get an explanation, thought that might have been a moving screen, but Henry said no, and that was probably the right call. That was definitely probably not a moving screen, but good effort for Gentry trying to fight through the screen. Norton with the basketball. They have 2 threes, one of those by Kieswetter in this third quarter, the other one by Cox, who has it. Now driving in, ball deflected but picked up, and now Kieswetter will launch a 3 for the lead, airballed. Norton can't save it into play, and it goes out of bounds to Scott City. Norton has 6 field goals, 3 of those on threes, but they're 9 of 12 from the line. Scott City has struggled mightily from the foul line here in this ball game. Just 6 of 15. And they tied at 24. 98 seconds to go third quarter. Fox has the only point of the third quarter for Scott City. And now here's Avery Lewis. She'll try a deep 3 for the lead. Yes! Oh, my, what the doctor ordered. A 3 for Lewis. 27-24, 1:25 to go third quarter. Scott City's first field goal in nearly 7.5 minutes. The layup on the other end is no good. Rebound in the hands of Avery Lewis for Scott City. That was put up by Fernbrook underneath. Lewis takes in the front court. She has 10 to lead the Lady Beavers. Now Fox back to Lewis. Layup. Yes! 5 in a row, and it's 29-24. And all of a sudden, it's like a fire was lit underneath the Lady Beavers, and they almost force a turnover. Saved by Norton. They have numbers. Kieswetter lobs a rainbow shot. Can't get it to go. And the rebound to Chris Irvin for Scott City. And all of a sudden, here we go. It's now 29-24 with 48 seconds to go third quarter. Bounce pass to Piper Fox. Now Metzger open for a 3. Short, long rebound. Piper Fox. Scott City gets another crack at it. Gentry goes up. Her shot is blocked. That'll be blocked by Brooks, and out of bounds it'll stay with the Lady Beavers. So Peyton Gentry in. Also Cassidy McLean in for Norton. But all of a sudden, little life for the Lady Beavers. With 37.4 to go third quarter, 29-24. Lewis to inbound it in. Finds Metzger left side. She'll turn down the 3, drives in, back up top to Peyton Gentry. 30 seconds to go third period. Fox with it. Now to Avery Lewis. Almost shot the 3 from the same spot. Now Irvin, her runner in the lane. That'll call in. It's a 7-0 Scott City run last minute. 31-24 with 24 seconds to go third quarter, and that matches their largest lead of the night. Just like that, they've hit 3 of their last 4 shots. And it's a 7-point lead with 15 seconds to go third quarter, and then stepping into a 3 and airbarring it out of bounds. It's Fernbrook and out of bounds to Norton, or to Scott City, 10.9 to go third stanza. This is an opportunity for Scott City to get a basket. Norton's going to apply full court pressure here. They do have 1 foul to give in the period. Metzger with it with 10 seconds. Now back to Peyton Gentry with 8, 7. Gentry lost it, but picked up by Irvin with 5, with 4. Bounce pass to Peyton Gentry with 2. With 1. Metzger's 3 on the way. Oh, wide right, and that's in your third quarter. Scott City will get the ball as they scored 7 points in the final 98 seconds of the third quarter to go up 31-24 as we head to the fourth. Back in a minute. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
BBN is brought to you by Lone Tree Farms, JNR, Nextech Wireless, Pioneer Communications, SNT, Scott County Hospital, Scott Co-op, Security State Bank.
(31-24). Scott City with a 7-point lead. It'll be their ball to begin the fourth quarter, and it's like a light switch flip for the Lady Beavers. They hit 3 of their final 5 shots to lead it, and then ripped away out high. Scott City's 11th turnover is Norton with the steal, and here's Hallie Brooks taking it around Felker. She'll lay it blocked, but a foul. That'll be on Mackenzie Metzger's second. And Brooks, who is scoreless in the second half, she's a perfect 4 of 4 at the line, will have 2 free throws. Holcomb ended up winning 76-35 over Hoisington. First to 2 for Brooks is good, and Norton is now 10 of 13 at the line. That's what's partially keeping him in this game. But Scott said he needed that little jolt there to go up by 7. Avery Lewis with 12 to lead Scott City tonight. Now Brooks has 7. Casey Anna Kieswetter with 9 to lead Norton. That free throw was good as well, makes it 31-26. But Norton is now 11 of 14 at the line. Scott City is just 6 of 15. Kaylee Felker with it breaks the full court press. She'll lead the charge. Bounces it to Avery Lewis, who loses it, hits the deck, and then out of bounds. It'll belong to Norton. Scott City with back-to-back turnovers to begin the fourth quarter here with 7:39 to go. So the winner will go to Holcomb on Tuesday night next week. Is it going to be Scott City or is it going to be Norton? Right now, Norton to within 5 here in the first 30 seconds of the fourth quarter. Norton did not score for about 7 minutes of this ball game until those free throws by Hallie Brooks. Scott City went on about a 6.5-minute drought, and here's a 3 on the way short. Rebound tracked down by Peyton Gentry in the corner for Scott City. That was put up, I believe, by Cox with 7:14 to go. Now Kendall Gentry races it, finds right corner Avery Lewis. She'll tee up a 3. It'll be no good. Rebound Peyton Gentry throws it up, a lot of contact. Kaylee Felker has it. Now she travels before the timeout. That was the right call. But Scott City with 3 turnovers in their first 4 possessions of the fourth quarter here. And it's 31-26 with 7:03 to go fourth quarter, as before Justin Froh could get the timeout. Now Norton will break almost a travel, but Kieswetter did not have possession of the basketball. Leah Clark with it now up top to Kieswetter with 6:50 to go back to Brooks. Looking for a cutter, finds left elbow to Emma Collins, and he gets a strip, and Gentry with a theft. 21st Norton turnover. Scott City with a 5-point lead in the ball as we approach 6.5 to go. Lewis, right corner to Metzger. She'll launch a 3. That is too strong. The rebound, Peyton Gentry. The follow, no. Rebound, Kaylee Felker underneath. Pivots and finds Mackenzie Metzger. Bank shot, no. Scott City with 3 opportunities and a tie-up underneath. It'll be Norton ball in the possession arrow. Back in is Katie Weathers for Scott City as Avery Lewis exits. Also in Cassidy McLean for Norton for Leah Clark here. 6:28 to go, fourth quarter, 31-26. Scott City lead, but Norton with the basketball. They have the lone points of the fourth quarter on a pair of Brooks free throws, and ball knocked out of bounds by Katie Weathers. The defense has been there for Scott City. 6:19 left. Kieswetter to inbound it in front of the bench and goes up top to Chloe Cox. Cox with it, now uses up a dribble, goes right side over to McLean. And it goes through Brooks' hands and a steal and 22nd Norton turnover. Lady Beavers need to start taking advantage. The points off turnovers up by 5. We're 2 minutes into this fourth quarter. Kendall Gentry wraparound pass to Kaylee Felker. Up top now to Gentry to Katie Weathers at the free throw line. She'll just drive in and her layup is good. She has 4. 33-26, 5:55 to go, and Scott City with a great possession that time, points off turnovers. Hallie Brooks works her way around Kendall Gentry and then works around Peyton, who hacks her for the second team foul of the fourth quarter on Scott City. And Peyton Gentry's first foul. That'll allow Piper Fox to return to lineup for Kaylee Felker. So it's a 33-26 game, 5:49 to go, and Megan Trout also re-enters for Mackenzie Metzger, but Trout with 4 fouls here. With 5:49 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 33-26 your score. Norton with the basketball. Scott City has not been able to lead by more than 7 points here tonight. At the foul line, Hallie Brooks. She'll drive to her left, spin move, scoop shot or bank shot, crawls off, rebound tipped around, and Kendall Gentry tracks it down for Scott City. Her first board of the night. Now she'll baseball pass it down to Weathers, who loses it, but that went off of Norton, and that'll end up a break for Scott City. Chloe Cox was last to touch it with 5:29 to go, 33-26. Every time that Scott City and Norton has met, it has not been every game has been decided by 9 or fewer points, going all the way back to the mid-'80s. Now through the hands to Kendall Gentry for 3. No. Rebound. Fox has it. She'll fight for the rebound. We're going to get it saved by Trout, and Kendall Gentry's fouled by McLean. That's her second. Team foul number 4 here, number 1 of the second half, or fourth quarter, that is, on Norton with 5:18 remaining. 33-26, a 7-point Scott City lead in the ball. As Justin Froh trying to get the signal into Peyton Gentry, is going to inbound it underneath the Beaver basket. Now lob it left side to Katie Weathers. Norton is doubling the post player, and here's the 3 launched too strong. Rebound. Hallie Brooks might have gotten away with a push-off as she gets her 5th board for Norton underneath. They've let him play. It's been consistent both ways as we approach 5 minutes to go. But Scott City has not been able to extend their lead past 7 here. They are on a 9-2 run in this ball game, 4:55 to go. And now Kieswetter turns down the 3 quickly, guarded by Peyton Gentry. She'll drive in, then throws it left side to Cox. Left baseline jumper. That one crawls off for Brooks. Boy, a lot of contact. They let that one go, and Norton ends up with it. McLean in the corner, and then we're going to get a foul, and that's going to be a foul on Scott City. Boy, I believe it was Fox who got bumped on the rebound attempt. They let that play, and Fox with her second foul. Third team foul on Scott City. Xavier Lewis, Chris Irvin in, Peyton Gentry, Piper Fox exit. 4:41 left. It's a 7-point Scott City lead. Norton with the basketball, 33-26. They'll lob it out high and fumble it, almost stolen away, and it is by Irvin. 23rd Norton turnover. Irvin with it now to Kendall Gentry. Finds it right side to Katie Weathers. She'll drive in. Her dishes it behind to Trout. Trout wasn't expecting it. Had the right idea, but Trout wasn't expecting it in the 14th Scott City turnover. So 4:29 to go, and Norton will bring back in Caroline Fernbruck, the freshman, in to replace the sophomore Emma Collins. Just 2 seniors that are in the lineup, Casey-Anna Kieswetter and Hallie Brooks. This is a very sophomore-heavy team for Norton. They're 9-12 on the year. They had a 21st game because they didn't have a lot of wins before their Mid-Continent League tournament, so they had to have a play-in game. That's why they had an extra game, a 21st game of the regular season. 4:18 to go. Norton with the ball, down 7, 33-26. Holding it out high here is Casey-Anna Kieswetter. Right side with it is Fernbrook. Bounce pass up top to Kieswetter. The midway mark of this fourth quarter. Fernbrook with it. Bounce pass toward the right block. Goes to Collins, trying to go around Trout. Now with it is Fernbrook. Drives in. She travels with it. Oh, they're going to get a blocking foul instead. Oh. That'll be on Krista Irvin. That's just her first. That's a final foul to give for Scott City with 3:58 to go. Boy, a tough break there, but that was probably the right call. They've let him play pretty physical, but that was probably a little too physical for the officials' liking. Scott City needs to play good defense, can't afford to foul. Now inbound in, here's Brooks with it. Splits the defenders, goes up over Trout and banks it in. She has 10. 33-28, 3:46 to go. Now Scott City needs to break a 2-minute scoring drought here as their lead is down to 5. Irvin will take it into the front court, and she gets tripped up, and now it's loose on the floor, and it's going to be stolen away and a turnover. And now it's still loose, and who's going to take it? It's going to be a tie-up. It'll be Scott City's ball in the possession arrow with 3.5 to go. The teams trade turnovers here. With 3:30 to go. Scott City just needs to be patient with the ball. They have the 5-point lead. Gentry to inbound it in to Katie Weathers, who catches it. Now we'll get it back to Trout. Out high to Chris Irvin. Just hold it here. Lewis thought about shooting the 3, but it's quickly guarded. Kendall Gentry right side to Katie Weathers. She'll put it on the floor. Gets it stripped and then flips it to. Now good position for Trout, but the ball denied and a turnover. And Norton with a chance to pull to within one possession with 3:10 to go. This game too far from over. 33-28 your score. Peyton Gentry to check in next dead ball. Bounce pass up top to Fernbrook. Now it goes to Kieswetter. Ball fake is now up top. It'll go to McLean. Ball deflected by Scott City on a pass. It'll still stay with the Lady Blue Jays with 2:56 to go. And in will be Peyton Gentry replace Chris Irvin. Give her a little quick breather here. She's played some good defense here tonight. And Norton is going to burn one of their final 2 timeouts here with 2:56 to go. 33-28 is your score. Basketball also presented here by Scott City Ice Center, Scott City Pharmacy Giftologist, Scott Community Foundation, Scott County Abstract and Title, Scott Cooperative Association, Scott County Hospital, Scott County Records, Scott Pro, also Security State Bank, Sharp Shooting Supply, Specialty Risk Insurance Agency, Spencer Pest Control, State Farm Insurance, Stevens Veterinary Services, the Solovey Foundation, Trophy Wine and Spirits, also Turner Sheet Metal, Vogelmore Family Farms, Western Kansas Insurance Service, Western State Bank, Wheaton Electric, White's Food Liner, Wilkins Physical Therapy, and Winterland Farms. But, boy, the Lady Beavers kind of leaving that door open here for Norton. It's 33-28 with 2:56 to go to be Norton's basketball out of the timeout. They're down to 1 timeout. Scott City has 3 timeouts, are all fulls. Possession arrow favors Norton. The team fouls. Scott City's committed 4 fouls here in the fourth quarter. Norton has just only committed 1. It'll be Blue Jay basketball out of their 32nd timeout. They have a full timeout left. As it'll be the sophomore Cassidy McLean to inbound it in. Scott City stays to the zone, more of a 3-2 look here. Kieswetter with it up top and will lob it in. It's stolen away and a turnover, 25th of the night. Peyton Gentry will race it across. Now throws it through to Avery Lewis. Drives in her layup on the right side. Good! She has 14, and it's 35-28 with 2:42 to go. Scott City has somehow maintained a 5 to 7 point lead here when they made their 7-0 run late third quarter. 2.5 to go. Casey Anna Kieswetter, low bounce pass left to Fernbrook. Fernbrook now up top. It'll go to McLean. McLean back to Fernbrook. Just swatted out of there by Gentry. Picked up by Norton. 2:20 to go. Right wing to Kieswetter looking for a cutter. Now up top it'll go to Hallie Brooks. She'll drive in. Dishes the left side. A deep 2 launched and good. McLean with 4, shooting literally from the hip. 35-30 with 2:11 to go as they applied some full court pressure. It's Trout in the front court for Scott City. Pulls up wisely now to Kendall Gentry. 2 minutes to go. Gentry with it. And now to Katie Weathers. Into Trout. Catches it and a foul. That'll be on Hallie Brooks. That'll be her 4th with 1:59 to go. And that'll be Norton's 2nd team foul. But Brooks with 4 fouls now. In for the Blue Jays is going to be Chloe Cox. She'll replace Fernbrook. If you're Scott City, there's no shot clock. Just play with the ball out high. You've got the lead here. Make Norton come out and guard you and foul you. 1:55 to go, and they almost force a turnover. Here's Lewis driving in, and she draws a blocking foul, and that'll be either on McLean or Collins. It'll be the 3rd either way. It's on McLean, her 3rd with 1:53 to go. That'll be team foul number 3. But the bad news for Scott City, they have struggled at the line. They're just 6 of 15 tonight. They'll inbound it into Peyton Gentry. Oh, she may have gotten away with the walk into Trout. Goes up, big shot, yes! She has 4. 37-30, 1:46 to go, and a big basket for the senior Trout, who's fighting adversity with foul trouble all night here. 100 seconds to go. Norton with the ball down 7. That's been the high mark for Scott City all night. Now driving in and almost losing it was McLean. Up top it'll go to Brooks. Still spin, gets it stripped, and it almost stolen away, and it is. And it's going to be a timeout before, taken by Scott City, just getting the turnover, the 26th Norton turnover of the night with 1:23 to go. Lady Beavers up by 7. We'll keep it right here as we'll run down some scores across the sub-state for tonight. This game, of course, the winner of this game is going to play Holcomb. Holcomb no problems with Hoisington tonight, 76-35. So Holcomb probably watching the game now back home. It's either going to be round 3 with Scott City or round 1 with Norton. Beloit defeating Lakin at Beloit tonight, 60-38. They're going to likely go to Southwestern Heights. Nickerson and Colby, it was all Colby, 69-18. And then it was 44-19 for Goodland over the Cimarron Lady Blue Jays. Here it's 37-30 Scott City here in this fourth quarter. Oops. As also Russell defeated Larned tonight, 57-43. So Russell and Colby next Tuesday. Beloit and Southwestern Heights. Southwestern Heights defeating Lions by the count of 48-12 down to Rule Kismet. Norton's going to apply some full court pressure here out of the timeout. with 1:23 to go. Scott City down to 2. Norton with 1. Katie Weathers will drive the left sideline. She may take this one all the way. She will. She'll lay it up. Can't get it to go. Rebound loose, but Norton has it on the run with Casey-Anna Kieswetter. Here's the Blue Jays with Kieswetter cut off by Gentry. Minute 10 to go up top to Brooks. Brooks backs her way in, lean her up, and no, but the rebound follow, yes. Emma Collins for 2, makes it 37-32, 1:02 to go. And now a little full court pressure in the backcourt. Peyton Gentry with it. Scott City has 2 timeouts left. They get it across to Avery Lewis. Now she'll step back. Just hold it. Make Norton come out and foul you. High, Kendall Gentry. Back to Lewis. 45 seconds to go. 5-point Scott City lead. Back up top to Lewis. Just hold it. Now to Kendall Gentry. Norton may need to start fouling. Now to Trout. Don't force it. Lewis. Good job just passing the ball. 30 seconds to go. Oh, Lewis will try for the dagger. No. Rebound. That's Trout saves it in a play, but Norton has it. That ran off a lot of time, though. 20 seconds ago. Here's Kieswetter going all the way. Layup is no good, but she is fouled, and she'll get 2 free throws with 20.9 to go. That foul on Lewis just her second, but Kieswetter back to the line where she has 9 points, and she is a perfect 4 at the line. Norton is 11 of 14. I don't know if you needed that three-pointer. Norton has a foul to give, but the bar Norton's still open for the Blue Jays. The free throw is good for Kieswetter. She makes it 37-33, 20.9 to go. As in will be Piper Fox for Katie Weathers. And also Chris Irvin will also enter for Avery Lewis. That would have been a big dagger if she was able to hit that shot. Kieswetter trying to make this a one-possession game. It's short. But Norton with the rebound, the follow-up, no, and a foul. As they have owned the glass here tonight, Collins with the rebound. She'll have 2 free throws coming up here with 19.1. The foul is going to be on Trout, and that's going to be it for her. She'll exit with 4 points at 19.1 to go fourth quarter, but Norton at the line down 4 here, and now Avery Lewis will check in for her. 37-33, Norton with the last 3 points of the ball game. 19.1 to go fourth quarter. Collins is a 50% free throw shooter. Norton is 3 of 4 at the line in the fourth quarter, now 4 of 5, and it's now 37-34. Norton is back to within 3. Collins, a second free throw, bounces off, rebound, tipped up, no, and it's loose, picked up by Irvin, and she is fouled. That's a 4th foul, McLean. That runs off a couple seconds, runs off 4 seconds, 15.1. Final foul to give for Norton, but good rebound by Irvin, and now Scott City with a 3-point lead, and Norton will have to foul here if they can't force a turnover. They're going to trap off the inbounds here. Scott City will get it into Kendall Gentry. She'll lob it, and a foul. That'll be a push. 12.5 seconds. Gentry hits the deck hard. I hope she's okay. She'll get up. She'll get 2 free throws on the other end. That'll be on McLean. That'll be her 5th foul. She'll exit with 4 points. 12.5 seconds to go. Hallie Brooks has 4. Leah Clark and Caroline Fernbrook with 3 for Norton. So the First Lady Blue Jay dismissed. But Gentry, the senior, with 2 big free throws coming up for her. Scott City, as I mentioned, just 6 of 15 at the line. She's trying to shake off a little rust. Hopefully she's okay. 37-34, Norton up by 4. Both teams in the penalty. 12.5 seconds to go. If you hit one, that's a big one here late in this game. Oh, man, that was rimming in and out. And a timeout. Norton is going to burn their final timeout. Nice, the free throw shooter with 12.5 seconds to go. 3-point Scott City lead. Back in 30 seconds. This is Beaver basketball.
Western State Bank proudly supports Scott Community High School students and athletes as they prepare for another great year of achievements. Just as our students prepare for another successful year, we encourage you to be prepared for whatever life may bring you. Stop in and talk with a knowledgeable staff at Western State Bank, whether it be a new home loan, financing for your business, or any one of our checking and savings account options. We're here to help you. Make sure to check out all of our internet banking options provided at WSBKS.com. Western State Bank, member FDIC. And as always, go Beavers!
12.5 seconds to go. 37-34 Scott City with a 3-point lead, but they have really struggled mightily at the line tonight. Just 6 of 16 unofficially. Six of 16. Gentry is 0 for 3, but maybe she can redeem herself here. Norton out of timeouts. That is big. See if Scott City hits his free throw to go up 38-34. Depending on how much time is left, Scott City, or if Norton would happen to go down and score, Scott City could maybe not inbound it with Norton not having any timeouts and maybe force him to foul. Can Gentry get this one in? This is a big one. She's a 70% free throw shooter. Scott City just 6 of 16 at the line. And that one misses. Rebound. Hallie Brooks. Norton with a chance here down 3. Lob is almost stolen away, and it's going to be last touch by Scott City with 7.1 to go as Peyton Gentry was the last to touch it, trying to get it to Chloe Cox. But Norton with a chance down 3. You almost want to foul if you're Scott City here. Don't let him to get a 3-point shot here. Brooks to inbound it. Ball picked up by Kieswetter, and there's a good foul with 5.8 to go. That'll send Kieswetter to the line. She is 5 of 6 in the line and has 10 points. The foul on Irvin, maybe a little early to foul, but still a foul, her second. 5.8 to go, 37-34. Scott City trying to hang on, but Lady Beavers 6 of 17 to the line. Norton is 4 of 6 in this fourth quarter, and that free throw will bounce off. You're Scott City, you've got to box out. Norton 4 of 7 in this fourth quarter at the line, 13 of 19. And they are 14 of 20 as she's got 11, 37, 35, 5.8 to go. Lewis to inbound it to Piper Fox. Just hold it in the backcourt. Irvin running a bunch of time in the foul with 1.9 to go. 37-35 is your score. Irvin to the line. She is 56% on the year. And that's on Hallie Brooks. That is it for her with 1.9 to go. And what could be her final game as a Lady Blue Jay, she'll exit with 10 points. But Scott City, a free throw, 2 free throws will finish this game off. Can Irvin hit them? She has 2 points. And can't get that one to go. Still a 2-point game. I think if you're Scott City, just back off the free throw. Don't foul on the rebound attempt. But let's let Irvin hit this free throw here. No good. Rebound, it's tipped out with 6/10 of a second left. Scott City on a night they can't buy a free throw, just 6 of 21, including 0 of 6 in this 6/10 of a second. They'll inbound it in. Lewis will intercept it on Norton's 26th turnover. It doesn't matter how it works, as long as it's a win in the end, and Lady Beavers somehow survive 37-35 over the Norton Lady Blue Jays. And it's round 3 at Holcomb on Tuesday night for some March Madness. Scott City 37, Norton 35, your final score. In a game that was just a tough one all around tonight. But the Lady Beavers advance on to the round of 32 in the state and the round of 4 in their sub-state bracket. Norton ends their season at 9-13. Post-game coverage comes your way after this 3-minute break. This is Scott City Beaver basketball.